So I have another question. My understanding is that it was preventing sprawl, as you said, and creating a network of land preservation and for active use. But really, farmers don't want us on their land, you know?
Well, you know, what was promised during the campaign and what the Greenbelt program became once it was legislated were two different things.
Yes.
You know, and so I think, and I'm not even, I was involved in the team that was, you know, the group that was advocating for the millage, and you know, it's hard to say, you know, what was, you know, it's hard to go back and say, well, what was really promised and what was clear to people and what did they really vote for. All that was really clear was what was written that people went to cast their vote for, and that said nothing about keeping the land open for actual use. I mean, it was about preservation. It was about farmland. It's you know, it's at a certain rate, but it didn't promise, as far as I can recall, it didn't promise that we could actually go and walk on the land. Most preservation programs don't have that that requirement.
So you buy the land, okay? You buy the
development
rights, right? Okay, and this is to go in perpetuity. Is that correct?
It's. I think. Yeah, I think there are about 100 years.
Okay.
The easements that are written.
All right. So my understanding is that the money that you have, that you get, cannot be used for maintenance. Is that correct? You can't, or is that not correct? Can you? Who maintains this land?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of, every time we approve a purchase of development rights, we also set aside a smaller amount of money, and it's calculated on some formula that I can't recall right now.
Right.
But it's a basically like an oversight or, you know, maintenance fund.
Okay.
I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it's to monitor the easement, to go out and do assessments from time to make sure that the landowner is living up to the terms of the easement. And there's some money, I think, in that pot for enforcement if we would ever get to the point where we discovered that somebody is not honoring their terms of the easement, then we have to take legal action because they've agreed to do certain things.
So when this millage ends, if it is not renewed, there'll be a pot of money set aside? Is that how it'll work?
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, I don't know how it was calculated, but it seems to be a reasonable amount of money to last, you know, for some amount of time to do this monitoring and oversight.
Okay. All right. So it's been commented, and Ann Arbor Chronicle cited Commissioner Gil Omen, and his concern that the commission is taking away, because these development rights are for 100 years, we're talking, taking away choices from the next generation, right? Well, we're deciding now.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about that?
I'm not sure what Commissioner Oman was referring to specifically in terms of his comment, or what actual, you know, what we were discussing at the time. But I mean, I think this is an agreement that the landowner is making with the city, that we're both in agreement that we would like to see this land preserved as farmland for the foreseeable future. And if that is taking away an option for some future member of that family, or for somebody who wants to possibly buy that piece of property in the future to build homes on it, well, that's just, I mean, every time we make a decision to build a home, we're taking, you know, to build a home or to build something, we're taking away a decision. So I don't really I see this as a decision to preserve open space, to preserve a kind of lifestyle in Washtenaw County that to preserve a farming lifestyle that we think is really important, both for, scenic and for food supply and for, all of the environmental benefits that open space convey versus development.
Okay, because it's 100 years,
Yeah.
So what do you see as the impact of this green belt on downtown or on Ann Arbor?
Oh, the impact on downtown.
Or Ann Arbor. I mean, does it have an impact on?
I think it has a huge impact, and a lot of it, I think, is possibly yet to be realized. In other places in the country where these programs have existed for a lot longer, there's certainly an economic value to the nearby communities for having this open space preserved. There's a quality of life benefit. There's, like I said, there's a food value benefit. I mean, this is something new that wasn't talked about at all when the millage was passed, but we see this as a new emerging topic that I'm really excited about, which is local food and having a local food economy. And I think that it's something that, like I said, was not thought about. We were thinking about sprawl when the millage was passed, but now we can be thinking about food security in Washtenaw County and really having the ability to bolster our economy by having farmland.